Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Collegiate Call of Duty. We're getting ready to gear up for another 3 matches on the night, and calling your very first match will be myself, Visions, and what I think is Cam, at least coming through on my screen.
I just changed my shirt, and this is what I get. I'm trying to look good for the
Cam.
people.
There we go.
We
There's that
There
handsome man. How's it going, Cam? How you doing, brother?
What's happening, brother? I'm phased in through the ether, but I am here. Really excited for another week of CCL action. I think, again, we got a really good matchup. Two pretty evenly matched teams. You could see this one go the distance like we saw last week.
Yeah.
Had a really fun match there, and I'm hopeful for it. We got Raid in the first 3 to start. That's always a good sign.
We love our raids, but before we're getting towards the maps, of course, we have to show you guys what we have lined up here on the night, going through all of the teams that will be playing here for us. Of course, the very first one that Cam and I will be actually getting ourselves into. We have a pretty spicy one. We got this Colorado Gold squad going up against Oklahoma Crimson. Then coming through for our second match will be Ottawa Black versus Northern Iowa Gold. And then to end things off here for you guys, that's going to be Colorado Frost, also Colorado Springs versus Arizona St. Maroon. So we got a spicy lineup, but as we get ourselves in towards this one, you mentioned it, Cam, we got triple dose of raid coming through for these very first 3 maps, and then if need be, we'll get ourselves towards a Garrison Hardpoint up on towards Miami S&D as well here for the 5th one. I think it was a checkmate, but not sure. We might have the Miami. We'll figure out that 5th map. If we go the distance, we'll get confirmation for sure. But either way, we got some nice teams, and Cam, you also got a chance to be able to talk to some of these captains here for both of these squads. You know, what are some of your takeaways getting ourselves in towards this matchup?
Like I say, I think it is one that's actually really, really evenly matched. In Raid, you see that as the first 3. That goes into the veto process. And I spoke with Andrew from Colorado. He says that they tried to get rid of Moscow. He feels like his team can kind of be more of a submachine gun heavy squad. And I mean, Raid's definitely a map you can get that done on. I think what stands out about Raid in almost every game mode is how much more manageable the map can be for both sides. You don't necessarily have to have the slaying power in your advantage. Like, I mean, in Hardpoint, rotations are huge. Search and destroy, both bomb sites can be pretty viable. And then in Control, offense and defense has a chance of winning every round. So I think it's one where really it's two-sided, which is obviously going to make for exciting gameplay. But yeah, I mean, I spoke to a couple of these guys leading into this one. They both kind of had the same game plan. The key to victory was going to be to control the tempo. We talk so often about being proactive rather than reactive to your opponent's moves. If you're making them think, you're putting the ball in their court, that's always going to be better for your squad. So we'll see which team can do that, can set the tempo, and have the other team playing from behind.
Yeah, this is going to be, I think, an interesting one because undefeated so far is our OU Crimson squad on Raid in particular. Of course, having themselves 5-1 overall standings, coming through with their map counts and their series wins, and they are, I believe, number 6 right now in the top 25, just coming down from, I think, 1 ranking from last week. So these guys are still trying to maintain that spot, and they've been pretty good on Raid. So I think the key takeaways, at least for the CU Gold squad, is they need to grab one of these first 2 maps because Control by far seems like Crimson's best game mode. I mean, they're 5-1 on it. They've been pretty solid. And we talk about some of these teams, especially last year. I think we talked about Full Sail being a squad that was just so superior in domination. They hadn't dropped any dominations until getting themselves in towards playoffs. And if you can be a really good 3rd game mode team, then I mean, that's sometimes enough to be able to give you those series wins and have that upper angle kind of over a lot of your opponents. So that's maybe something we'll at least look for to see if they can grab one of these first 2 maps. But I said it, undefeated on Raid so far. Sample size maybe not there, mind you, just 1 win, of course, on the Raid for Search and Destroy as well as Control, but nonetheless have not dropped it yet. And I think we did hear that they were also scrimming, practicing a bit. So we'll see what CU Gold kind of maybe have planned or prepped here going in towards this first set.
I like what you said there. Control as such an important game mode. So often you see it being really the deciding factor in who wins or loses a series. You get to that. I mean, you can either reverse sweep, obviously, but I mean, I think what's always most impressive to me is if you can win games 2, 3, and 5, it shows that you're really just playing smart. You're playing with your strategies. You got everything intact. You've been practicing. Like, it's all there for the squad. I think those are impressive wins, really grinded out wins when you can win some of those off game modes and not have to focus so much on the hard points. But it sounds like the lobby might be taking a little longer. I definitely just agree too that, like, if you can just know that you're solid in one game mode, it really just makes things so much more easy to prepare for. You can kind of have that confidence under your belt, knowing that if you go into your game mode, you should be able to pull out a win when you're probably going to need it. But I mean, again, Raid Control 2 is probably the best of the 3 maps in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that as we get ourselves in towards the series, by no means do we maybe totally expect CU Gold to be able to match the pressure that this Crimson squad has been able to put out, especially through the respawns with some of their standout players. But I think that there's certainly an opportunity for them to be able to do it on a map that is more commonly played for as far as the scrim rotations and things like this. It's something you're usually playing a lot if you are getting yourselves in towards these 8 lobbies and whatnot. So this could be a chance for them to, pull off an upset inside of their group here for what is Southwest A. So this is a really important matchup to see if they can maybe steal a win off these guys. We're fighting for placings, and we are now, in towards week number 4. So we're already cruising along the CCL for as far as our initial weeks at the very least for what we do have up. And this could be a potential win for them. I really think that they can do it. And if they are going to do it, I think it's going to come down to Bugs. Bugs has been the one player, I think, for the squad that has been the clear standout. I mean, he's been putting up some crazy stats, 1.64 KD in HP, has a 2.0 in S&D over the course of a lot of his games. Also, 1.34 in control. So by far one of the most consistent players that is standing out here for them. And at the same time, of course, we have some standout players on the other side, but I think this is the guy that's really going to have to try and bring this one home here for the guys.
Yeah, and like I said, I spoke with Andrew, the captain for Colorado, and that was really what he said. Like, I asked him, is there an in-game leader for you guys? He said, not really. It's everybody kind of throwing in their 2 cents, but when it comes to search and destroy, Bugs is the go-to guy. He's calling the shots. Like you said, he's got the 2 KD, highest KD on the team in terms of search and destroy. So they're looking to Bugs in those big situations to make big plays and pull out some of those much-needed wins in search and destroy, but it sounds like we're ready to go. Let's get ready to jump right into things.
Yeah, I'm pumped. We got triple dose of raid here, ladies and gentlemen, coming through. It's going to be a spicy one indeed, but we'll see exactly what the squads have here lined up. Are they going to have enough in the tank to be able to take down this Crimson squad? That's what we're about to find out here for CU Gold. But there is a lot on the line. We're talking about getting in towards the CCL season and wanting to have, a good start for as far as getting in towards that top 6 group so that you can have a chance at being able to put yourself in the best possible spot as we go out through these stages and get ready to get in towards playoffs here in towards the near future. So it should be very exciting, but looks like we're ready to jump in now, ladies and gents. Raid Hardpoint coming up first. We got CU Gold up against OU Crimson. Let's see who takes away map number 1.
Gonna be a good one here. Stay woke. Andrew is wide awake here to start us off, pushing onto the point. He's got a couple players to deal with here. Gonna find one, but you see the kill feed in favor of in favor of Crimson there. We're gonna be white on your mini map, and then Colorado, of course, in the gold on your mini map. They get the first 10 seconds here though for Crimson as the contest comes in. We see the slaying back and forth. Pretty scrappy here at P1, as you know. It's going to be important to get that rotation over to P2, but you see it on your minimap. Gold there taking full control as they start to push through to try to grab kitchen control for the rotation.
Not too bad of a start here. CU Gold looking to try and grab the last 20 seconds. He's got a couple players who have had a nice little start, exactly what they needed. Already picking up 25 seconds. We look towards this rotation, however, and it's going to be up to Briggy. Can he shut this down? He has no support because his teammates spawn in behind the old hill. He's got too many members to deal with. The numbers will be able to push through. So sure, you grab the 5 seconds here for Crimson, but now you have to start lining up this rotation in towards the back.
This is what makes Raid so much of a fun map to watch, right? You can get your setups in place. We got one here. There's the first 2 kills for Criteria. There's a chance to get 4 if he wanted it. That would have been a tall task. So he's falling to Cedar. Now you got Ninja in the back in a very important position, trying to continue to open things up as his teammates fall all around him. Gonna go ahead and challenge into the kitchen. He takes shots from 2 angles and falls. Now the push coming through at the front. It's up to Andrew here to slow it down, but Briggy's grabbing 2. Criteria there for the trade. And it's an all-out bloodbath on the hill, but it's gonna be Gold who comes out with it for the time being. Cinnamon Man, next one up, able to pick up the kill on Criteria, but still, it looks like, well, as I get ready to say that, now Crimson breaks through for this final part of the hill. They're going to grab maybe 20 seconds as everybody here on the map starting to focus towards that garage hill.
Oh, still going to be a fight. Can Andrew make any moves? He can. Cedar cleans up 2. And a chance maybe to play for the rotation towards garage. It's a battle inside. Ezio, no chance. You got Ninja Cinnamon just sitting in here ready and waiting with that Krieg. So this is a chance for Crimson to get themselves back in towards the game. This is now a rotation that we're going to have to see for CU Gold. Can they break the setup? They're not here initially, but Andrew, first one through, will be able to land some shots, but can't bring home the kill. Needs some coordination here. We see both players through that X-ray starting to line themselves up in towards Jim and Criteria, finding the trades, but Briggy waits for that angle to pounce. He finds the kill. Ezio inside, trying to play his life. Good help from Andrew, and with only 20 seconds over, it's going to be CU Gold right back in the point.
Able to get the break. You're right. They grab control. That's a couple players here pushing in towards the weights. One will fall. The trade starts to come through. Ninja in a gunfight here with Ezio. He'll win that and make it 9-5 now for Ninja. Cinnamon As the rotation again starts to come through here, you got Colorado Gold, though, breaking through on some of these hills to get some points. And despite the setup being there for Crimson, it just hasn't mattered for Gold. They've been able to break through as we finally rotate over here towards basketball court. Right now, the advantage Crimson will be there. Cedar here trying to play the front, trying to play the back, making sure nobody can get through. And we'll jump onto that initial time. He's got Bugs at the front side. He's got players really swarming him from all over as his teammates come to bring reinforcements. Andrew first in line will fall. Second one out there is Bugs. The jump chow from Cedar is there and make it 2 here. So this position will remain intact for Oklahoma Crimson as they retake the lead.
Yeah, CU Gold, I just don't think they were in a position to be able to move in here swiftly and play for those trades. They were thinking maybe a couple more players were stacked inside the point. They simply weren't. They were focusing all the resources up top to try and have that close spawn, and they still will have a bit of control up top. We see Ninja Cinnamon. He's finding kills off screen. A chance now for Andrew to try and move in. Cedar denies him entry. 5 in a row coming through. Everything looking good now for OU Crimson as they're getting themselves a good amount of time. This is the first time we've also seen them actually get a solid hold. 10 seconds left, and that scrap time should be good. But we look towards this rotation towards Pitt, right towards the middle of the map. Andrew, he finds a very important kill to make sure that they will have the setup. Now we'll see if they can try and hold on.
That's a solid 60 there on basketball court for Oklahoma Crimson. And as we rotate in here, Ezio playing the front of the kitchen, and you got players spawning up. They'll be headed open stairs. So a pinch from 3 different angles is ready to get set up here for Crimson. First move will be from Briggy. He falls as the kill feed goes 3-2 in favor of Colorado Gold, but Cedar there in on the point, and he'll have a couple seconds here to wait for these players to spawn up and make their pushes. He's got some help from Dom by mid-stairs. The whole team stacking up there. As the pinch coming in from number 2 on your mini-map. Here he is, Ninja. He'll finally fall. It's actually Stay Woke Andrew who's flooding in. Make it 3 for Andrew, as they will be able to retake this point for the final 20 seconds. Trying to hold on here for the rotation over to P1. Colorado Gold jumps off to this early lead, and then it's Crimson with a full 60 on basketball. Now Colorado able to get this latter part of this hill and starting to even things up a little bit, but still Crimson up with that 20-point lead.
Very tight. First rotation coming through, and yeah, you got to give some props over towards Andrew right now. I mean, he's got a minute 40 inside of the point. Sure, only 14-12, but he is doing some of that dirty work, and that is the reason CU Golds have themselves a tight of game as we currently see. But now they need to start working towards breaking the setup. It's Cedar as well as Ninja, both putting initial gunfights. K-Dom will win that battle on towards Laundry. Now you have the subs in the hill. The ARs are set up, and Andrew is not going to have any chance in hell of being able to battle out against the Craig, who's just sitting here right on top of one of the headies. So next attempt for CU Gold. They need this one to count. Bugged. Can he find the first one? He sure can. Big Criteria also responds with a kill of his own. This is the best chance CU Gold have. They will find 3. The spawns look to have flipped out, and I think Bugs will have a read on it. Still important kills for him. He will find himself 2 in a row. Biggie gives him 3. Ooh. Can he go for 4? K-Dom is going to try and play his life, but he will be collapsed on, and Big Criteria will clean him up. This is a great position for CU Gold.
It's interesting. We heard that the submachine gun players might be what we're watching in this match, but it's been the ARs so far who have been had the dominancy all over the map. It's Ninja with 17 and 11 right now has been huge for Crimson as we get another set of rotations here. They head in towards the kitchen. Bugs will be there at money. He'll fall to Briggy first. Backside here, it's Ezio picking one up. Make it 2 for Ezio and a chance to maybe open things up. As Andrew finds one more, the 4th will fall as well. So a clean break there from Colorado Gold, and Ezio already making the read on the players spawning at ring. They probably get the information for his team, calls that out, so everybody getting ready to set up on the backside of kitchen. You see the players there forcing around through jungle. A couple here set up by back kitchen. Here comes the initial fight. Andrew with the shots on Cedar. He will fall. Ezio there for 2. Trying to get another 3-piece, but Cedar there to pick him up. But Criteria still alive at Old. Will soak up the rest of that time and should be able to give Colorado the lead as some players making early rotations into P4. I'm sorry, P3. That's Briggy and Ninja setting up. Whoa, Andrew's just barely going to fall off the map. That's unfortunate as the kill feed lights up. Color white. Crimson's ready for the setup here at P3.
This is the last time we saw Crimson actually start to work themselves back in towards the game. CU Gold, they did break just about 20 seconds in. We'll see if they can do it just about any faster. But, I mean, those engagements, they're coming inside of Art before they can even get close towards the point. You got Ninja. He's just sitting here very happily collecting time for his squad. But through the X-ray, we'll start to see the squad move up. CU Gold chance to maybe start breaking on through. K-Dom, he's got Zig completely cut off. Now the push comes right through Jim. Can K-Dom look for the pinch? They've made their way inside of the point. It's contested. It's anyone's game, and we'll see K-Dom find himself the win. Can he find two? He gets the help, and well, we'll see the second kill also connect. This looks to be another solid hold. Maybe one last push here for Bugs. The rest of the members are in, so sure, they grabbed the last 20 seconds, but this was the big problem here for us, Cam. When we moved towards this basketball hill, this was a full 60 that came through for Crimson, and you can't allow that to happen here again for CU Gold.
Last time, yeah, Crimson was able to get their setup in place, and it was never broken from Colorado Gold. They're able to get that old time and bring it to just about a 10-point margin of victory. As the spawns start to come through, pick up on it, and a couple players in the back that need to be dealt with, they go down. And now all of a sudden, you just have to look at the front. One kill to deal with its criteria. He is able to pick one up in cutout. So now things maybe starting to see a glimmer of light here. If you're Colorado Gold, a big kill comes in from criteria. And all of a sudden, this one's wide open. Now you look towards the back. A couple players getting ready to funnel in. Dom will win the first gunfight. Andrew there for a trade, and it's Ezio as well. Back and forth they go. Colorado Gold doing everything tooth and nail to try to get control of this hard point, and it seems like they finally have some breathing room for the time being.
And Andrew is still living inside of the hard point. I mean, he's closing in on 3 minutes worth of time. How much more can you ask of the man? Because he's trying to make sure they steal this first map away. And they're in a good position to do so. They're going to have themselves a slight lead moving in towards what could be a potential final hill, but likely will go one more for us. We'll see how good the setup will in fact be. Crimson, they're here first on the front line. They'll have themselves the initial time unless Andrew has something to say about it. He'll take some shots. That position is going to be given away, and they will clean him up because of it. Ninja now changing the position, trying to figure out where the next hit's about to come through. You take your time here if you CU Gold. Bugs tries to get in. It's Cedar with the two-piece off screen. Andrew, can you do anything? No, you cannot. Crimson closing in on the final seconds. This very well might be the last push. What do you have, CU Gold? You got to come out with the fire, and you need to break now. Cedar finds yet another one. Good shot here for Ezio. They're going to try and move in towards the point, but it's Cedar just on a rampage. Finds himself 3. That's good enough to close out map number 1. And OU Crimson, they'll strike first in the best of 5.
We were told to watch out for Cedar, and that was a huge way to end things off. We get a best play of the game here, and we might be seeing exactly that play. A couple kills over by Pillar, a few pushing open steps. They will fall as well, and I think that's the thing about P5. It's one of those hills that timing becomes so important when you're trying to break. You see how all the different angles are being pushed from, but it's just a matter of timing it up so that you're pushing out all at the same time so you can get those kills, you can get those trades. If you're doing it one by one, saw it in the kill cam. Cedar's able to pick them up as they come. But really just what a great first match, right? It was Colorado Gold jump off to the early lead. Then Crimson, it just felt like we're a little bit ahead with their rotations, able to get their setups in place. They were just making it a little bit more difficult on Colorado Gold, pushing out there on the garage hill to the front, forcing those longer routes. It felt like at times, they were just one step ahead, it seemed like, in that first map.
It did seem like that. And also, I mean, kind of to touch on the big factors of raid hardpoint too for us. I mean, that P3 to P4 rotation, when you're kind of, moving across the map, a very long rotation, you have to almost send someone just about 25 seconds early. It feels like a lot of the times that was just not always there for them. And then when it was, we saw, I think Ezio at the first rotation, he was at the top of the stairs there for basketball, but he didn't really play his life. He tried to get a little ambitious, made that move in towards the point, lost that 1v1 gunfight. And from there, it was basically trying to break from the front, and that full 60 had went over. So a very difficult position, but a very close first map for us. And I mean, Crimson just used their overall setups, I think, and early rotations to be able to come out on top of that one. Looking at those hills I just highlighted for P3 and P4, came out with the majority of the time and enough to at least take this very first one. But now we move in towards what will be a raid search and destroy. And Bugs, we didn't get a whole lot from him. I highlighted him at the top of the broadcast saying, all right, this is the guy to look out for. Apparently it was Andrew, the guy to look out for, because he was doing just about everything he could to make sure they get the time. But he has, I mean, one of the highest S&D KDs throughout every single member in this lobby. You're looking at about 2.04 in S&D here, Cam. I mean, that is a crazy stat line within itself. He's bringing a lot of value. He's clutching up likely a lot of plays, and just maybe even opening up with a lot of these initial first bloods to give his team a massive advantage early.
Yeah, we talk so often about S&D stars and being an S&D minded player. A lot of, I mean, some people are just geared more towards the game mode in general. And you mentioned Andrew there. I spoke with him, like I said, before the match. He is a freshman. This is his first time competing. So he's the new guy on the block, trying to make a name for himself, soaking up time on the hill. But Andrew also told me that, like you said, when it comes to search and destroy, Bugs is the one to pay attention to. He's the guy calling the shots. He's the one with the 2 KD. He's usually got that AR in hand and can be so important in search and destroy. Without sniper rifles in the game, getting those first bloods becomes crucial. But it's another raid, one where you can go to both bomb sites. You see a lot of different stuff happen. I think the late round situations are so much better on raid when it's 2v2, 3v2, when things aren't at full strength. That's when you can really see some crazy plays happen. So we'll have to watch out for bugs, see if he can make something happen here. Unless the scores are wrong, I believe Colorado Gold is down 1, right?
That is correct. That is correct. So for all you guys that are just tuning in, it is OU Crimson as we see that switch come over there for us. And now we line up for this raid S&D that we were just breaking down. Looks like they ended the very first go. So it gives us a little bit more time to talk about this. And for anyone that's also, just tuning in right now, playing against Crimson on raid is a potential nightmare because they haven't lost it yet. There have been playing at least a good amount of their hard points on raid. They've only played one search and destroy on raid and one control on raid. So we don't have a big enough sample size to say, hey, maybe these guys are completely nasty at this map and you just need to hard ban this out and look to play them at, some other maps to maybe have a better chance at being able to shut them down with their strengths. So that's something that's yet to kind of be seen for as far as what we might have. But this will be a good example of it because, we have raid here as well as next map. So this will be kind of the true test to see if they really are just nasty at this map as a whole. Does not matter what game mode they're playing on it, they're able to kind of bring everything they need to close this one out. That's what we're going to really be looking at, I think, going in towards this second map here as well. But I think the key is still you need to find this if you are CU Gold. Control has been way too good for this Crimson squad, and if you go 0-2 down heading in towards that map number 3 here, Cam, it could be potential lights out here for them if they're not able to get themselves the map win.
Absolutely, yeah. Momentum's so huge. I think if I was to have to make a prediction, I might lean towards gold. And I know the stats might not aim against that or support me on that with Crimson being undefeated right now on Raid. I just feel like Raid is a map that kind of sets up evenly for both teams. If there was one where you didn't want to have a team with an advantage or feel like you're the underdog, I think Raid is the one that kind of makes an even playing field. But we'll get to see if I'm flat out wrong on that because obviously Crimson undefeated so far on the map. But we're jumping into things here for Search and Destroy. I'm excited. Let's get right into it.
Let's get to it. What do you have here for us? We'll see very shortly. Looks like the first hit about to come through. Crimson good shots there. Very long range. Ninja Cinnamon able to find himself the first kill. Andrew with the response, but numbers will swing the way of the side of Crimson for now. I think one player did get spotted down low. He does. Big Criteria hit a quick flank, didn't find value, and now it's going to be all up to Bugs here in a 1v3.
Bugs in the 1v3. Player up to his right. That's going to be the important kill up on Ninja, who will probably be playing the bomb. 2 players here interested in making a push, but Cedar is there with the 74. You will clean that one up right away. And you go for probably the more unlikely of the 2 bomb sites to start things off. You get first blood. It just kind of falls apart shortly thereafter. So I don't think it's necessarily a terrible round for Colorado Gold, though. You got to get back to the drawing board, though, and win your defense. But we'll see. I always say it. I think whichever team can pull out a couple offenses will usually be the one to win it. See if Colorado Gold can answer with an offense of their own here.
Might be looking for some mid-map priority. They send a couple players to Zig. Might just be looking to play slow, work that pick, something we commonly see. The cheeky little angle here. Cedar, he should go down, and he does. I think the second one is spotted. Shots come through. Ezio really trying to work that angle. Does at least shrug the player off of watching the middle of the map. Biggie, he might be Briggy, excuse me, getting a little bit aggressive. Will be able to find himself a kill, gets the trade for his teammate, but you still have a numbers advantage for CU Gold. They've been playing it patient. They have information on one, and they could just look to make a swift rotation, but maybe instead, Andrew going to look to work this kill.
Seems like we so rarely see the rotation, but you look at your mini-map, obviously they don't know what we know, but it would work, and you got the numbers advantage. Now, though, maybe you did exactly what you were trying to do. You faked him out. You see the white players on your mini-map rotating over towards A. After all this waiting, they must expect that something's going down, but you just see it on your mini-map. Colorado Gold was just playing the slow game. Now they start to make their push, and they're realizing nobody's home. Let's go ahead and take control of this bomb site. We got to get a plant down soon. 25 seconds on the clock as Crimson, starts to push in towards mid. Criteria with a big kill. Ninja's there for the trade, so 1v2 all of a sudden, and the bomb has to go down. It's on the way right now. Ezio, maybe not facing the right way. Ninja could have a chance to open things up from the backside. He does let his position be known. So now it makes things much more difficult as he creeps up over on the right side of Laundry. Might spot Andrew, who gets the shots on him right away. And there's no chance for Ninja to make the heroic play. 1-1 will be the score. Colorado plays the slow game that time. and it works out for him as they pick up the round win.
I'll be honest. I mean, I think they got really lucky with this offensive round. They took a lot of time to try and get that bomb down. And I mean, you saw the full rotation come through in behind Laundry, checking out everything that was going around that A site. That they still had enough time to almost come all the way back and check to see if the bomb was going down at B. So I think almost playing a little bit too patient, trying to work that pick instead of using your numbers advantage to try and push in towards the site and actually gain some control. We'll see if that changes up in their future offenses. For now, it's all aggression for the side of Crimson. They move themselves right in. Cedar, one of the big SMG standouts from last game, looking for some of those engagements. He finds engagements, but does not swing his way. He will be blooded. Bomb also going to be picked up, but everyone's slowly collapsing. Big gunfight in the back. K-Dom finds it, and he'll even the odds up here. 3v3 we go.
All of a sudden, it's 3v3. Couple players back by Laundries. We saw a player climbing, trades coming in, so now 2v2. Dom might have the read here on Ezio. He does, finds the shots, and all of a sudden it's up to Andrew in 1v2 situation. He is on defense, so that makes things somewhat easier. He's going to go ahead and back up, play his life, draw this one out a little bit. Bomb going down by Briggy here at B. There's a player climbing up the top ring. Here comes the initial gunfight. Shots were good, but the AR outpowers the submachine gun, and he will fall. So Crimson now retake the lead. And to go back on what you were talking about last round, where we saw a little indecisiveness with a decision to rotate when you had the numbers advantage, it goes back to what we were talking about in terms of scouting this game, how neither of these teams don't necessarily consider themselves to have an in-game leader. It's kind of all a collective decision. That might be where you want to have an in-game leader, someone who can put his foot down and just say, look, guys, we know they're not at B. Let's rotate to A. Let's make the decisive play. And it usually can pay off. I mean, a lot of times trying to think about things too much, you don't have time for that in Search and Destroy. So that's just something to think about. I don't know. The IGL can be pretty important.
It sure can be. Ezio with the bomb here, mind you. Very interesting engagement might just come through. He does not check his left. Cedar, he should see that bomb. I mean, it's not on the body. It should be good information right now. And I mean, you can see everyone just rotating there on the bottom left half of that mini map. I mean, they are making themselves known in the middle of the map. They have presence by A. This is going to be a very tough round here for the side of CU Gold, but we'll see what they can do. They need some opening picks, and Andrew might be the one to do it. He's going to go top pool house, get some shots in, clean shots. He'll find Ninja, evens the odds up. Briggy making his way down low. Good trade here from Andrew, too. Oh, my God. Okay, Andrew. Snaps for 3, 6 and 2. The setup was in, but it is broken and shattered here from Stay Woke Andrew. But they got to still get through one. Briggy, does he have it in him to pull off the 1v2? No, he can't. Andrew's got the ace, and that will be an offensive round over to CU Gold.
Got the ace, and we're about to see some of it in this kill cam, bringing his team right back after the first blood goes in favor of Crimson. Big first kill there, and this one just to barely get Cedar before he gets around that corner. Finally, with the 3-piece onto Dom. That is huge out of Stay Woke. Andrew mentioned it. He's the freshman on this team. He's the new guy on the block, trying to make a name for himself. Up to 7 and 2 on a 4-kill streak. Got to be watching out for Andrew. Had the sub in the first match, just had the M4 there. This guy can do it all. And that round did exactly that to bring it back to 2 apiece.
What else could Andrew do? I mean, he's on 4. We talked about streaks being a pretty important factor on a map like Raid where you have, 2 pretty open lanes. But this time around, it's big criteria. Finds himself the first kill. He is pinned, and we will see Andrew get traded out. Bugs in big criteria, though, responding with a few more. So now it's all up to Ninja, who is going to be in the back of his spawn. I think Bugs has a read on that exactly. This gunfight is going to be everything, and, well, there you have it. CU Gold starting to take some map pressure away, starting to find some kills, and they're now in the lead 3-2.
And I love what we're seeing out of both of these teams. Some rounds it's playing it slow, some rounds it's speeding it up. This one, obviously, no time to waste. We see it in the kill cam. Criteria was pushing up. 2 players here at open, able to grab one of them. It was just a straight push, an aggressive push that time from Colorado Gold. And I mean, that's what you got to be doing, right? Switching things up on your opponent. Keep them guessing. That's what they talked about, setting their own tempo, being proactive rather than reactive, and that's exactly what they did in that round. It gets them the win. Now on offense, this would be a moment where you can really stretch this game and start to extend your lead in a big way. You win this offense, it comes to 4-2. That would be a much more comfortable position. We'll see if they can do it here.
Engagements come through. This is looking a lot
they can't.
For OU Crimson. Yeah, we get the answer there very quickly. I mean, that is the fastest ace I think you might have seen as far as the team just getting a complete wipe. I mean, you can see it. They stack 3 and both players end up checking the right as they lose the player who was watching the left. So that is an easy cleanup round that comes through, and they're going to respond with a 3-3 score count here for us. Now another swing round in the mix as we're going to have offense coming back through here for the side of OU Crimson.
I mean, you talk about setting the tempo. Both teams are getting a little bored and just flying right at each other with some big kills. Briggy looks like he's trying to make an alpha brain read on a flanker here, setting up very early there at the start of the round as we see Dom here trying to hold down another flank through Zig. The push is over at A. If you don't notice it on your minimap, Cedar will drop the bomb deep by basketball court after picking up a first blood. So now 3v3, bomb way out. Pretty much a free-for-all at this point. Dom exposes the position for the time being. Bugs just hanging out by open steps, waiting for this push over at A. They know bomb's down, it seems like, at this point. Just put the setup in place. If you're Crimson, this is not going to be an easy retake.
Yeah, these teams need some new bomb carriers because the aggressive players are just running it into the worst possible situation. Bugs, nice movement in and out of open stairs. He's going to double up. And now K-Dom has to get this bomb, has to cut through 3 players, finds that first one, no way, he snaps for the second, tries to take the gunfight, but then backs away. Trade is good. CU Gold still staying in control of this game as they're going to stay ahead by 1.
Yeah, like, where are the fundamentals? Who's carrying the bomb? That's like step 1. Don't bring it to the opposing team's spawn and die with it. It's never going to make things easy. It's a couple times we've seen the bomb down in some interesting locations. But Colorado Gold, they jump out to the 4-3 lead. That's a huge win. Again, back on offense. It's like whichever team can pull an offense usually sets themselves up in a good position. They've been trading rounds, it feels like, for the majority of this game. See if they can do it here. Criteria starting things off with the nade check onto Kitchen. Nothing home. So you see the defensive setup is pretty well spread. There is a player there in Kitchen awaiting this push into mid. Gold just kind of playing things slow, waiting it out, trying to get any information they can. A couple players just trading shots over by pool, but no kills get picked up. So after a couple speedy rounds, back to the slow game. Both teams not wanting to be the first one to let first blood go. As you see Bugs just holding this off angle, waiting for someone to push out. Nobody's going to be doing that, so it's his turn to take initiative and move up over here by B.
Everyone trying to play their lives, knowing just how important this round is here for the side of University of Oklahoma. Andrew, he's making a play, and that is sniffed out. Briggy finds himself first blood. Bugs forced to probably make a play, but we do get a response. Is there an opening here for Bugs?
The timing.
We saw the X-ray here for a second. It's back and forth. Briggy trying to land the shots down, getting a bit of help. He snaps on Ninja. Can he find the second? Almost. But that is also the bomb down, so it's going to have to be big criteria. Moving in quickly. He reads the first one, takes no damage in return. Now a 1v1. This would be the 1v2 clutch. Does he read it correctly? He's going to hop up, goes for the challenge, but can't find the gunfight. And we'll see a massive 1v1 tie the game up at 4 apiece.
Oh my goodness. And so often, I mean, I don't know, I guess it's just a change from this year, but if you're holding that angle with the M4, that's, I guess, the way you're going to win the gunfight. You saw the slide challenge that in Modern Warfare a year ago probably would have resulted in the kill, but just mechanics change from year to year. That gunfight goes in favor of the XM4, so all of a sudden we're all tied. That was a huge one. Really would have been a big-time 1v2. Instead, tied at 4 apiece. Both teams looking to win an offense. Still remains to be the storyline as the setup intact here. It's a push over by A, and they have free reign to take control. The bomb going down early here from Cedar. See what Colorado Gold does to react to this.
Make the move quickly. Andrew, he gets good help. That likely was a kill onto him. And now it's going to be a massive numbers advantage on this retake. You got a bit of a split here. Cedar, he needed to find that. Ezio doesn't give him the opportunity. Now it's a 4v2. They slowly collapse. Big criteria. Won't find this gunfight. Briggy has a chance to remap through mid, which means that all the pressure about to lay on towards one up top. And, well, there you have it. The kills come through. CU Gold still making sure they're in control here, Cam. It's a lot of back and forth throughout this one where it's really just been one round here, one round tying it up. But CU Gold, a chance to put this one away, and I'm sure they'd love to.
Absolutely. I mean, would love to put it away. 5-4, huge opportunity here. It's just interesting, too. I like the decision to rush over by A and get the bomb down right away. You can play that mansion spot so well with your bomb checks, but just a really good retake from Gold. They play it aggressively, make sure they pick up all the kills. It would have been a 3v1 on the guy top mansion if he had stayed alive, so I think that's just the exact way you want to retake it. I like the play from both sides. It just happens to work out in favor of Colorado Gold, and now they have it where they want it. Chance to close things out, and again, still have to win that offense if they want to do it here. See if they get more aggressive, as that's exactly what they're going to do, pushing right through mid. They're flooding into the kitchen, trying to just play the kills, it seems like here. So you see players on the opposing side start to fan out over by B. First blood in favor of Andrew and Criteria. Waiting to make the play with his teammate Ezio. Andrew finds another. Ninja's there to get one kill back in favor, but now a 1v3 all in the hands of Dom. Trying to extend this game and maybe force map 3. It's not looking too good from here.
Oh, it's going to be tough. He reads the wrong bomb site as well. Has to pick apart 3 members with 40 seconds. Or else we got ourselves a tied series as Cam just frames it up. What can K-Dom do? He's going to get himself up top and start searching for some information. Realizes where they are. Good shots under the first one. Finds Ezio, but can't get to cover. He'll be wall banged. He'll be cleaned up. CU Gold. It might have been back and forth all the way through, but they grabbed the last 2 rounds in map number 2, tying the series up here at 1 apiece.
Had a feeling that Colorado would get this one, and there's also that offense, that pesky offense that they had to win. They do it to fun around there, as we see Andrew really played a big role there with a couple kills in that round. The aggressive push, the decision-making that we were talking about finally comes through too. Let's go ahead and just flood right through aggressive play, put the ball in their court, let them react to us, right? Like we're talking about, and it works out in a major fashion for Colorado Gold. We tie up the series, and it's another raid, right? We talk about how Crimson was probably going to pick up this third map, Raid Control, where they've had so much success. For Colorado, though, that's huge to win that search and destroy. Now this series, at least has to go to that second hard point where it's going to be Garrison. You can finally get off Raid if you're getting tired of it. I know I'm certainly not. I love the map in general, but yeah, it was just a great search and destroy. Finally, Colorado Gold, they're able to get an offense in the end. That's what closes it out. See what they do here in the Control.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all tied up. This is the game mode that they have been great in. Can Crimson do it here again and go 2-1 up? We're about to find out after the break. Don't go too far. Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome back to College Call of Duty. It's myself, Visions, and Cam Burt here on the cast here for you guys. We have already gotten through 2 maps, and well, the series is tied here 1-1. But now we get ready to go in towards our 3rd dose of Raid for Control here, Cam. And this is where it's interesting because this is really, I think, the bread and butter for Crimson, and this would be a massive upset if CU Gold can maybe carry a bit of that momentum from the S&D they just closed out in towards this 3rd map.
Yeah, I talk about how Raid could be the level playing field. Now, all of a sudden, I'm airing back in favor of Crimson. I had a feeling Colorado would have a chance in that search and destroy. They're able to squeak it out. Now, I don't know. I just feel like Crimson, for whatever reason, is going to take control of this next map. But they are so well matched, these 2 teams. Like that first map goes all the way down to the wire. S&D, they're trading rounds back and forth. Now we go to Control. Have to expect it to go to at least round 4 or 5, the way these guys are battling it out right now. But it's coming from Colorado. A lot of it has been Stay Woke Andrew. He's been out there slaying his way through the map. Had a big ace in that search and destroy we just saw. Bugs was making some plays, but then Crimson on the other side, they've had players doing exactly the same thing. I think it's what we were expecting too, where the ARs maybe haven't had the biggest role to play. It's been the submachine gun players with map control kind of pushing up into their lanes and doing a lot. But I think I've said it a few times, Raid Control, one where both offense and defense have a chance to win the round. Makes things pretty interesting. Just can't wait to get into it. I'm loving it. I'm having a great night, and I'm still purple or orange. I'm turning into the Hulk. I don't know. I can't stop it. Someone's injected me with something. I'm turning like purple, blue. I don't know what's happening over here.
Yeah, the energy's doing all kinds of crazy things to us here, Cam. It's it's too intense. Camera can't take it. But yeah, I mean, this has been a great series. Like you just said, man, the first map, extremely close. Could have been one from either team. Came down to, really just like 15 points separating them both. So it's it very likely could have go down to the wire here for us again. But you have to have some prep. We've been talking about a lot of practice coming through here for the CU Gold Squad. So maybe they're going to have enough in them to change things around for as far as control. But I think this is certainly one of their weaker game modes out of the 3 that they do have. So Crimson, a chance to be able to punish and show us exactly what they've been doing this entire time throughout the season, or maybe CU Gold, the prep could pay off. We'll see it. But offense first, we'll see this squad move right in towards A. It's going to be good defense. Briggy and Cedar trying to get the job done. Shots come through. Ezio a little shaky on it. Will be cleaned up, and Cedar, well, he opens right back up with another multi-kill.
Cedar has been so huge for Crimson, and all 3 map. It really has just been doing everything. Starts it off with a 2-piece there. Briggy's up next for a 2-piece of his own. cleans up the kills at Zig and continuing to come through. Now is the chance to push up and play some spawn kills. Briggy realizing Andrew might be getting out. Turn on for Criteria for a gun punch. Ezio goes down to 60 health. And he's killed by the spawn killer and Cedar. Cedar is up to 3-0 and is just running rampant on the map, doing whatever he pleases. Not really much thought going into it, just turn and burn as Criteria picks up the team kill on Andrew and continues to be a stranglehold here for Crimson on the side of gold. Only 18 lives already at this point, and there just doesn't seem to be much of a window to get anything going here if you're Colorado Gold.
No, not when you just have the map cut like this. And Ninja Cinnamon, I mean, also 5-0. Cedar finally able to get himself back on towards another streak. With only 20 seconds left. I mean, they very well might not even get a tick. We'll see that cut down there from Briggy. A chance to be able to win one more. One last attempt towards A. They will stall the clock. They got 16 seconds to work with. Then Map Control also won here for Bugs. So this is not over just yet, but you still would need to hold for quite a bit longer. Ezio trying to do exactly that, and now it's all up to player 3 here on the point. We'll see if Andrew can make some moves. He's got a bit of assistance now. We'll see if they can try and hold on towards the second tick.
Final chance here. Got to get this position here at A as the kills continue to come through for Crimson. You see the lives down to 6 for gold right now. This was pretty much all but done for. Ezio not willing to give up just yet. Getting to outside A so he can get some time for his teammates to come and support. But they're already over at B. Nobody's home coming in terms of reinforcements here for Ezio. So he's going to do it himself. Picks up that kill on A, which could be really huge. Now all of a sudden, progress going way, way up on both of these points. Cedar will be the one, though, who makes the big play coming in from behind. And it's just about all up to Bugs over there at B. His teammates running over from Mansion. Might not be in time. If you're Crimson, this is the chance to flood. You have the life advantage. Don't let them get any control here. Still no cap at A, and that's pretty much, well, I don't know what I'm saying at this point. It's so difficult to follow along because Gold are really just staying in this one. They are able to extend the round. Still only have 3 lives to work with, so it's not going to be easy. Got to play as a team as they're trying to make the push through the backside of basketball court.
And we'll see all those kills come through just like
and
that.
There you go.
It was looking a little strange. I mean, they had limited lives. They were winning it on gunfights, but I mean, making that transition from that point to across the map, not having any real info on where they could be, not going to make things very easy. But you have a couple subs that start popping off. I mean, Cedar and Briggy, this opening that they have is what takes away the majority of those lives and doesn't give them a whole lot of time to be able to make any moves and start actually stalling that clock out. So comes down to time, also comes down to the lives. Good first opening, first round for the side of OU Crimson. Exactly what we expected. Cedar also already 10-5. Briggy right behind the second sub, 7-4. These are what we were watching for. The players that are able to step up with that sub, those close range engagements. That's what it's really kind of all about. Is K-Dom maybe having a bit of a struggle for as far as maybe connection. Tries to get into a gunfight here, but swoops right by. Won't be able to finish him off. We'll see the attention over toward B. Already working here for that first tick of progress. Briggy gonna stack that zone with Cedar just to make sure the first tick is secured.
It's that dual-headed monster, and Briggy and Cedar starting the charge over at B. Cedar's there for his trade and will continue the tick. As you see on your minimap, not a lot of control over on that portion of the map from Colorado Gold. Now players forced to rotate through mid and through their own spawn. More players on for a stack, and this point B is all but done for. Briggy able to get the kill. And almost the turn on to Ezio, my goodness. Big save there from Ezio to come in and maintain that final tick. Not captured just yet if you're Crimson, and all of a sudden the clock starting to tick away. Now you've put the push over towards A. 3 players there for a stack. Everybody changing their focus over to try to help on that. The kills, though, coming through for Crimson. If you're Gold, you're just playing the guessing game. They just went to B and almost got it. Now they grab A right from under your nose. Just one tick is all that's left over at B as the kills continue to come through. This is starting to look good for Crimson. Got to get control of this backside of the map before you want to get on the point. So you're forcing the spawns over by basketball court. Ninja here, waiting to play a kill. Ezio will run out and fall. It felt like they had the positioning to get things open. Now all of a sudden, all right, they are going to get on B. It's like, whew, my goodness, what is going on over here at B? Finally, though, they're able to get this tick together. It looks like with this kill, that could do it, and it does. I'm so sorry. It's like, oh my gosh, there's so much action over here at B.
Yeah, this is really good control, I think, coming through right now for the side of Crimson. They're just working their resources so well together. When they're doing something, they're doing it together, and they're just using that numbers advantage just to clear out a lot of these individuals who are trying to play their lives. And I mean, it helps when Cedar is also, you know, getting kill cams and openings like this. I mean, this is something that you just usually will not see, but Cedar has just been the player that we had already hyped up going in towards this entire series, and he is certainly delivering. He might struggle a bit in the search and destroy from time to time, but the respawns, he has got that unlocked. He is 18-6 right now, Cam. He's on the
gosh.
free. He's got 15 objective score, which is almost all of what CU Gold pretty much have combined. So, I mean, that should tell you the story right there. Cedar opens up with very nice shots, gets himself the full streaks, and he is going to be able to now work very nicely with the squad having these streaks in his back pocket.
And it's like insane to watch. It's almost nauseating how much movement is going on Cedar's screen with the way he's playing. 19-7, like you say, with the 15 objectives as well. Just doing everything for Crimson right now. Here's another push, though, coming in towards B. We'll see if I can keep my words together. Couple players pushing into money. They're able to find the kill on the criteria, but it's this position from Andrew that is so difficult to get a player out of. Cedar's going to be forced to climb out of money. He will fall. The kill feed lights up yellow for Colorado Gold, the chance to continue to push forward and try to get these ticks together. Final tick coming in on B. One player is over at A. Big streak from Cedar. We know he has those the way he's playing right now. Finds 2 with that cruise missile, and Ninja can slow things down. Kill on criteria would be huge here to stop the bleeding.
Ooh, they will find him, but he takes one before he ends up falling. Bugs, good help. Finds himself the kill as Andrew is going to be positioned on top of A. They have a good amount of map control right now. Both zones being attacked at the same time. They're going to try and play defense by A. Andrew, important role, but Cedar, he's finding just about everybody. That will be Ninja Cinnamon giving him the challenge, and he will come out on top with it. Cedar finds yet another one, putting him 25-9, doing it all, just starting to take over. And I mean, challenge him. Cedar is just absolutely ripping these guys apart. They finally do it after 3 come through, but Briggy comes through in from behind and cleans them up. Desperation mode. You have 40 seconds left, but life's starting to get low, only at 11 now.
If I'm Crimson, just throw everybody at A, leave Cedar at B by himself. He's obviously capable of handling the offense. He calls in his second streak there with the artillery, able to find one. So a slow moment on the map for the time being. Both teams getting ready for their push. Trades come in to start things off, and Andrew maybe able to find 2 over at A. This is huge. The stack will come in. Now you have to focus over towards B. You add some time on the clock. The life advantage in favor of Crimson by just a small handful. It's a big kill, though, in mid from Dom there to maintain control. Bugs trying to do everything by himself over here at B. Hanging out by the chairs over by the pool, trying to catch a tan. He will fall. Andrew next in line, and there's only a little bit left on the tick. So we'll go ahead and grab that. This one's not over just yet. Colorado Gold get the big win with their back against the wall to extend this match.
And that's actually really big. I mean, Cedar used both of his streaks there, so as much as he is frying, and you know, he steals the kill cam away again, of course, but he does actually invest both of the streaks here. So if you can get yourself, you know, a solid defensive hold going in towards this 4th round, there is certainly a chance to bring things back, maybe even work for some streaks of your own. So by no means is CU Gold out of this one yet, but they still have a very tall task to overcome. We'll see if they can do it. We take a look at the damage there as we almost see 5,000 damage right now for Cedar. And I mean, at this point in time, it's like, all right, is anyone going to be able to help out Cedar at that? I mean, he's doing everything he can. He got 19 kills for Briggy. I mean, the sub's certainly doing everything imaginable to be able to make plays on the map, but we'll see if anything ends up changing. First engagement, Cedar's so good. First tick also there, and now they'll start working towards the second.
Just no fear in Cedar, pushing right up on the point and grabbing the first blood. Now we see the trade start to come in from both squads as the rotations towards A. If you look at your minimap, everybody is flooding the point right now. Andrew and Bugs are there to grab some kills, and they'll clean things off for the time being, but 2 ticks already through in favor of Crimson. See what strategy they go for here, and they will go ahead and switch things up and go over towards B. 3 players there. It's going to be Andrew for Colorado Gold trying to stop the push. He will fall. Criteria not ready for Briggy to play that close. Falls as well. Bugs is also going to go down. Briggy could either push spawns or get back on the point. He's going to get on the point and slide up into that rock corner that is so difficult to find. Now all of a sudden B is captured. All you need is 1 tick at A if you're Crimson.
Ezio cleans one up before cutting off the middle of the map. Important role to play here. Needs to try maybe finding some of these spawners, but it's really, if you take a look at the minimap, I mean, 2 on each side. Not sure if they know 2 players are coming in from behind A. By that kill coming in on Bugs, I don't think they do. Big criteria. Can he make the moves? He finds one, almost gets that second. Cedar won't allow that trade to come through, and he manages even to connect on 2, and now it's just stacking the zone. Last tick should be good, and there you have it. Crimson still way too good in control. they'll get themselves now a 6-1 record through this game mode and pull ahead in the series 2-1.
Consolation round for Colorado Gold seems to be all that was. Cedar was just absolutely ballistic on that map. 34 and 15. It's almost unimaginable stat line. It's like he's playing league play. Briggy was also in this kill cam doing amazing things. The movement was there. You could see it. These guys are cracked in the essence of the word. A lot of the youngsters like to say that word these days. They are cracked there in that control. I think that's got to be the guy you got to look at. It's Cedar, right? He just brought it home for them. Not only was he slaying out the map, doing it with a submachine gun, also doing it while being on the objective, which is so important. The objective kills were up over close to 20 there for Cedar. So it's not only slaying, he was playing the objective as well. And anytime you can do both of those things at once, you're going to set your team up for success.
You definitely will. And now we get ready to gear up for what will be a Garrison hardpoint. Both teams, I do believe, currently 1-0 in this game mode on this map. So this means that it's going to be obviously one team getting the very first loss. And if we go back to that very first initial map that we played on Raid, the only thing that really separated the two apart was I felt like University of Oklahoma was just playing a lot better on those rotations, especially on the hills that matter, right? When we're talking about the hills, they're going to net you the most amount of time. I think that was just great realization from Crimson to say, hey, if you guys want to fight for that scrap time, go ahead. We're going to go set up for basketball, bring home some of those full 60s. And that's where we saw them really get in control of the game. And that now can't happen as we get ourselves ready to go in towards Garrison. You need to put yourself in a spot where you are making these moves first. You're holding on towards the setup. You can't allow it to be broken on that first push, which is also something that we did see a little bit in towards Raid on some of those rotations. So these are some of the things that need to fix and come together on. And if so, they can get things towards an S&D. They looked great in that very first S&D cam. They played things a little bit slow, but they started to pick up on a lot of the tendencies that their opponents were playing into. So this is all about getting in towards the search and destroy. And if they can do it, they absolutely have a chance at being able to take this series away.
You said it right there. These teams are really like this. They're neck and neck. There's not a whole lot separating the two. And I think what you just said is exactly what's going to be the deciding factor. Who can rotate, who can manage the map better. It was Crimson who did it just ever so slightly better in that map one. It was what got them the win. And then I think, again, if you're Colorado Gold, you're trying to play from behind here. You got to make sure Cedar doesn't do what he just did on that last map. Try to shut down those streaks anytime you can. If you can keep that in the back of your mind, hey, I think I died from Cedar like 3 times off spawn in a row now. He might be inching towards that artillery. You got to go ahead and shut that down. Those can be so important, especially on that P2 hill. Streaks can be huge for a break. As we go ahead and jump into things, we saw who was the victor there on Raid. The rubber match goes to Crimson, so they're the champions of Raid for this series. Now we head into Garrison and Checkmate. See if that changes anything as we get into finally a different map here other than Raid.
Yeah, finally get ourselves in towards a different map, which is maybe not what I expected. They also, do take away at least their perfect Raid record and towards that map number 2. So you got a couple takeaways here for these guys that are certainly the underdogs in towards this matchup, but you have to do it all again and more. And shutting down Cedar is going to be the solution to getting us there. It's all about, will it happen? I mean, the faster they get into the game, the better it is for Cedar, because he just came off that performance. I mean, you're just putting him on, a different map. That's about it. He's still going to have a massive influence with that submachine gun in towards something that is going to be mainly close quarters like Garrison, getting in towards those, up close and personal engagements where you're able to kind of use that shot punch, use your movement to be able to finesse. It's really what it's going to come down here for them. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Map number 4. We're going to have University of Oklahoma currently up 2-1 in this series. But CU Gold, they're fighting back, and we'll see if they can fight us to get us in towards that map number 5.
The carnage is already ensuing. 15-point lead off the rip for Oklahoma. Quickly from Colorado back onto the point, trying to fight back and get some points of their own. Contest, though, coming through and already down to the waning moments of P1 is when you start to focus on P2. You see it for Colorado, number 6 and 7. They will be the ones already set up for the rotation. And if you're Crimson, probably the time to hit some long routes. It's going to be so difficult to push through green, but Briggy says, I don't really care. Here I go. One player gets bad timing. That Ezio will fall. Can he get this unfathomable 2-piece onto Andrew? Gets the first shots and will find it. And that is just unfortunate. If you're Colorado Gold, you get the rotation in place with the break instantly coming through for Crimson. Now switch roles. It's Crimson's turn for the hold.
Ezio had to hold that corner. I mean, I think there was some miscommunication on where the hit was coming from. They're trying to back up completely, and now they find themselves in a little bit of a hole. Can they break from top green? So difficult to do, but big criteria. Trying to land the shots in. will make the move. Challenges the player on top of the point. Won't be one. Briggy is good. Ninja's good in towards the back, holding down bricks. And at this point in time, you just have to chalk this hill up. Make that rotation. They will do so. But the problem here, Cam, is we saw them make a lot of rotations in that very first map. But can they hold on to it? They need to hold the line. They need to win out on some gunfights. And well, that's not a great start as that player is going to spawn out.
Yeah, you see it on your minimap. Number 6 is going to have a long run here, and it's probably the earliest hill you have to chalk there, P2. It's like 30 seconds left. If you don't have control, we're chalking it. We're rotating. Bugs in a huge position playing the spawns. We'll pick up the kills.
Much better.
Colorado will have control here for the time being, but again, it's what we're talking about. Can the setup stay intact? Ezio off the hill, playing off towards this back ammo side, trying to pick up the kill on Ninja. A few players hitting through this side. One will fall. Second one should be next in line. And all left is just the last player in the spawn. It's Cedar, who's probably going to be a nuisance here. We're going off last game. 2 kills in a row for Cedar, trying to make it 3, and it takes a slew of players to finally take him down in the back, but gave his team enough time to push up towards the point. It doesn't matter because they will fall. Andrew there for a couple. One was a team kill, but he'll slide up and start to soak up some of this time. Nice little hold here for Colorado to get back in this one. The spawns will flip, though, in the final 10 seconds. We'll go to Oklahoma.
That's perfect. I mean, they get the rotational spawns now moving in towards B4. As long as Briggy doesn't do that, which she won't be able to, doesn't find those 2 kills, this puts you in a pretty good spot. You grab, what, 40 seconds off of that? The last 15 end up going over to Crimson. That's fine. But can you also hold on towards this one? Andrew, not in a great position. I mean, fighting from the low ground, trying to soak up everything he can, but he's not going to have any of his top green controls. Cedar is going to collapse. He finds his teammates also making their way in towards the point. And now it's going to be Crimson back in control, just like we saw in P1 and P2. Cedar, I think he gets a little stiff of a player trying to come in from behind. He cleans him up, just bobbing and weaving. I mean, he can't track this man. He's all over the place already. 12 and 6 on the forest spree. He doesn't need the objective time because he's just killing anything that moves.
Talk about how Crimson continue to break these hard points. It's so easy when you have a player like Cedar making all these plays. I mean, you talk about crack. Look at the movement on this guy right now. He looks like Neptune or Shotzi in the CDL, sliding around. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And like what I go back to is it's so easy to break when you have a player who's behind enemy lines, who's pinching, doing all this different stuff that Cedar is due. So much to think about in the Colorado Gold. So you see it up on the scoreboard there. 14 and 7 for Cedar, 11 and 5 for your AR Ninja, and then Briggy, the one honing in on the objective time with 1 minute and 37 seconds. Dom's having a tough one, but it doesn't really even matter as this lead continues to grow for Crimson. One more kill onto Andrew here, and now there should be time for reinforcements to follow up. Criteria, how about the read from Briggy here to look over towards the arch, picks that one up on Criteria, and again, the kill feed continues to light up white. Crimson are running away with this one, and if you're Colorado Gold, you better hurry up and get back on the high horse, because this one's going to be gone before you know it.
I mean, the subs just aren't keeping up right now. I think that's the biggest factor. Andrew was really the X factor and why the game was as close as it was in that map number 1. And now you're just getting these submachine guns on sprees. Briggy, I mean, 13 and 6 while he has 2 minutes of hill time. His teammates are just posting up. The ARs are putting themselves in great positions to cut down the subs that are moving on the map. And then you have Cedar, who's just playing this SMG roaming role, finding himself, you know, another multi-kill every single life. It feels like this man is at least taking 2 with him. And you have Ninja battling out here from the top of bridge, just cutting off the map, playing for info. This is a serious problem. I mean, without a doubt here for the side of CU Gold. They need to get themselves some time, and they just simply can't get themselves towards the point.
It's very obvious that they have not warmed up. They have heated up. They are on fire right now if you're Crimson, and the main person that's doing that is the one we're watching right now in Cedar. Another kill streak there will finally come to an end. 24 and 10 on the map, picking right up where he left off in that control as this lead is now well over 120 for Crimson. Colorado, though, doing whatever they can to try to bring this one back, getting in the hills. Cedar playing the life so well, and that's a smart move right there to go ahead and leave that one where it is, because you know Cedar is probably going to pick up that kill. Early rotations, though, starting to come through over towards B2 can be so crucial. The final 20 seconds look like they might go in the hands of Colorado Gold, but not if Cedar has anything to say about that. Criteria finally able to clean him up. The contest will come through. Colorado have the rotation again here. We saw how this game spiraled out of control at the start when this got broken. Can they keep this hold together? P2, the biggest money hill on this map. So important here and trying to make a comeback. We'll see what they've got in their bag of tricks.
Well, the push is coming in the back. Player 5, he will spawn out. Can this pinch work out? Looks like it will be good there onto big criteria. Ezio, though, inside of the hill. He finds himself too. Briggy gets the trade, but the numbers will swing the way of Colorado at the moment. So this is looking much better. First 25 seconds will be secured. Here comes the second hit in from the back. Bugs up top. Can he hold it? He will be able to find that first one. The entries are important. Briggy needs to find value. He gets some assistance. They'll be able to find two. Will they find three? Andrew tries to do everything he can, but he will get taken down from the side. One last battle for the hill. Cedar says no, denies entry, and there is still a chance that we will see University of Oklahoma 100-point club CU gold. It all depends on how this rotation plays out here for us moving in towards the next hill.
Got to be playing for that pride. Can't get a 100-point club. Just absolutely cannot let it happen on the Alpha stream. As again, here we rotate in, and you got players just focusing on those spawns. So important. Briggy making the push in through tools. He will follow the bug. Players in the back, though, trying to flip these spawns out. They are successful in that. So for Colorado Gold, you might have thought you had control, but all of a sudden they're spawning right by the hill. You're not ready for that, and they will all fall at this point. If you're Crimson, just get on the hill, set yourself up here. You should be able to put this one away if we rotate over towards P4. This is just a solid hold, though, and it's really key to flip those spawns, right? We saw it in that waning second. Colorado Gold wasn't ready for that, and if you can get these close spawns, you're going to be in such a better position on this hill. You're going to be about 2 or 3 seconds away from closing this one out on P3. Just got to make the rotation to P4. But the good sign for Colorado Gold is that they did not get a 100-point club, up over 100 points to 105.
Take the wins where you can get them. Well, this looks like it should end for sure. Maybe not on this hill, but likely on towards the next. Just need a few more seconds in the bag, and that will get the job done. The setup, it's in. You got to hold full 60s from here on out, Colorado Boulder. And here comes the streaks. Ninja invest one. Will find a kill with it. Breaks maybe look to be good. Big criteria. Last one really up. He can't get them off the time. And well, there you have it, ladies and gents. OU Crimson, this squad, University of Oklahoma, they are now 6-1. They have an excellent map record now of, I believe, 18-7, and they are looking pretty solid in this Southwest A division, bringing the pain. And I mean, you gotta give credit to the subs. We got Briggy, we got Cedar here, Cam. They just went on absolute tears throughout a lot of these respawns. And when you have players doing things like that, I mean, it's so difficult to match that pressure, that tempo, that aggression, all of it, as we'll see them come out with the close here 3-1.
Pretty fitting to be named the Crimson because they were red hot there. And it was really that control where all of a sudden things just went to a whole new level. You had both of the submachine gun players for Crimson were huge all throughout the series, but it was Cedar that just absolutely turned up going into those final 2 maps, went for 35 in the control, and then just had another runaway map there in that final hard point. I do think these teams are pretty well matched to go into this match, but all of a sudden the Crimson just heats up there in the end, and they're just run away with it. It's unfortunate if you're Colorado Gold. I think there's still a lot you can take away from it. Do a really good job in the search and destroy to pull out that win, and the first map goes all the way down to the wire. But then in that garrison, some of the holds just weren't there. I mean, you get the setup in place, and all of a sudden, snap of a finger, Cedar's got 3, and they're in behind you. So you just got to get those holds and those setups a little better. I think that's the thing they go back and look at if you're Colorado Gold.
We'll see if they can do exactly that. I mean, tough scenes all around, I think, without a doubt, but there were some moments where, like you just mentioned, they had some high moments about building off that. I think really working on hardpoint is where they're going to have to maybe dedicate some of the resources to next. Just look over, those setups, making sure you're not getting broken on the first attempt. A lot of what we got on some of these hills, and just really making sure you're putting yourself in a position to succeed on the money hills on every single map mode combination here for hardpoint. Those are the takeaways, I think, for sure for these guys. But on the other hand, I mean, you have a strong squad nonetheless here for the side of Oklahoma, and they can look to build off this, run off this. If the ARs can just keep kind of helping out all of the subs on this roster, this is going to put them in a great spot for the rest of this division. But time will tell and see exactly how they're going to be able to do it. For now, that's going to be it here for our matchup. It was a great one. If you just happen to miss it, 3-1 is what we got, but we still got lots more Call of Duty action here on the night. Coming up next, we're going to have, of course, Mick and I hold shift. They're going to be taking a look at Ottawa Black versus Northern Iowa Gold. So it should be a nice matchup. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. We're going to throw things towards a break. Don't go too far. When we come back, we got another matchup coming up.